Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. You can now get free Narcan kits in the mail as part of Steuben County's effort to combat the opioid crisis. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg reports on the new life-saving measures.
To help reduce the number of opioid overdose cases in the area, Steuben County has released another new way for residents to obtain Narcan for free. Narcan is an overdose reversal medication that, if administered quickly, can save the life of an overdose victim. With nearly 300 reported overdose cases occurring in 2022, the new free mailing system will help put more Narcan medication into the hands of those in Steuben County. In order to take part in the new mailing system, you must watch a 9-minute Narcan training video and fill out a Narcan request form. If you do use a mail-ordered Narcan kit, you can request a new kit after filling out a Narcan use report. The mailing system is the latest effort by Steuben County to counteract the opioid crisis. The county health department recently installed 21 naloxone wall boxes throughout the county, each containing a number of Narcan kits.
The fact that so many are laced with fentanyl, which is leading to some really tragic outcomes. And so the more that we can educate the community, let them know of the dangers, let them know of the results, as well as provide the information and education for community resources to help them get the help that they need and will hopefully want, then we feel like we can make an impact if we can do those things.
The training video, free Narcan request form, and more information about Steuben County's efforts to fight the opioid crisis are all available on the county's website. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Steuben County.
The votes are in as Centerway Square in Corning has been voted as the second best public square in the country for 2023, according to USA Today. This is not the first time Centerway Square has been voted inside the country's top 10 public squares, having done so multiple times in the past. Following the results, Gaffer District Executive Director Colleen Fabrizi said, "Even though we are a small city in population, being in the heart of our downtown, Centerway Square is a wonderful and enchanting experience." If you're looking for some family-friendly winter fun, the Arnott Mall is hosting their Winter Carnival this week. The event features inflatables, food stands, and mini golf holes scattered throughout the mall. The carnival will be open daily through Sunday, February 26th. Now to the latest from Ukraine. President Biden making a surprise trip there. This comes ahead of the one-year mark of Russia's invasion of the sovereign country. Alexandria Hoff has more from Washington.
President Biden was originally scheduled to depart from Washington today for a trip to Poland. Instead, unannounced, the president left D.C. sometime over the weekend for his first visit to the battered nation. It is a high-risk show of faithfulness. The President of the United States arriving in war-torn Kyiv early this morning, even walking the city briefly as other world leaders have. Upon arrival, President Biden was greeted by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and the First Lady. The two leaders then met for bilateral talks.
Mr. President, I'm delighted to be able to repay your visit to our country. Remind us that freedom is priceless. It's worth fighting for as long as it takes, and that's how long we're going to be with you, Mr. President, for as long as it takes.
From Ukraine, President Biden is expected to travel to Poland.
The president's going to deliver a set of remarks in Warsaw, communicating how important it is for the world to stay united in supporting Ukraine now as this war sadly heads into a second year.
During a security conference in Munich, Germany on Saturday, Vice President Harris accused Russia of committing crimes against humanity in Ukraine.
To all those who have perpetrated these crimes and to their superiors who are complicit in these crimes, you will be held to account.
While in Munich as well, Secretary of State Antony Blinken met face-to-face with China's top foreign policy official, saying afterward that Beijing may be strongly considering providing military aid to Russia.
Based on information we have, that they're considering providing lethal support. And we've made very clear to them that that would cause a serious problem for us and in our relationship.
President Biden's trip to Ukraine followed strengthening calls for his administration to supply Kyiv with F-16 fighter jets. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
Former President Jimmy Carter's nonprofit, the Carter Center, has been serving people around the world for decades. Now people are going to the site to pay their respects. Madeline Rivera has more.
Since news broke of former President Jimmy Carter's decision to receive hospice care at home, messages of support and kindness have poured in for the country's oldest living president.
Great man, great president.
On this President's Day, people are reflecting on the life and legacy of Jimmy Carter. The country's 39th president is now resting at his home in Plains, Georgia, after deciding to enter hospice care. Over the weekend, dozens of well-wishers made the trip to the Carter Center in Atlanta.
I just brought my sons down here today to pay respect.
After leaving the White House, Carter and his wife Rosalind opened the nonprofit in 1982. Since then, the center has served to advance public health and human rights, and even helped garner the former president a Nobel Peace Prize in 2002.
He means perseverance and passion and persistence and service. President Carter is a man of service.
Prayers were also offered up at Maranatha Baptist Church in Carter's hometown of Plains. His niece, Kim Fuller, now teaches the same Sunday school class her uncle led for decades. At this weekend session, she quoted Carter's own words on legacy.
My faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I can, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have to try to make a difference.
Just last year, the Carter Center celebrated 40 years of serving people around the world. In Atlanta, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Prosecutors downgrade involuntary manslaughter charges against Alec Baldwin in the Rust movie case. The move reduces possible prison time for Baldwin, who was holding the gun that discharged on the set, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Baldwin's legal team had argued a specific firearm statute in New Mexico, which carries a mandatory 5-year jail sentence, doesn't apply to Baldwin's case. If convicted, Baldwin faces a maximum of 18 months in prison. The FBI is investigating a hack that targeted its computer network. FBI officials say they believe the incident was connected to computers in its New York office that were used to investigate cases of child sexual exploitation. A report says the agency is still looking into the origin of the hack. The investigators say they're not sure when the incident happened, but added that they are working to get more information. A 4-foot alligator was found in a New York City park over the weekend. This gator was captured Sunday from Prospect Park Lake. City crews spotted the gator and alerted park rangers who caught it. Animal officials say the gator was very lethargic and possibly cold-shocked because it's accustomed to warmer climates. The reptile was taken to the Bronx Zoo, where it will be rehabilitated. Park officials say it is illegal to release animals at New York City parks. Stay with us. Your forecast is next. Plus, while United Airlines is cutting the cost of seating accommodations, Southwest is increasing its Wi-Fi fees. Details just ahead.
Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Spring-like weather continues to dominate much of February. It seems like we should nearly cross off this month and just write April on top of it with these temperatures. 70s to even 40s being our coolest high we've seen over the last 5 days. And more of this is ahead. But we could have some more of these sharp roller coaster-like conditions ahead. Now, note through the overnight, we're actually going to keep temperatures pretty steady into the 30s as we're going to gain a southeasterly wind. What that southeasterly wind will bring is going to allow for temperatures to be pretty similar to what we saw today. But we're going to have some increasing cloud cover. So with that southerly wind intact through the first part of the day, pretty quiet. Now by the afternoon, you see that wind switch take over, coming more of a east-northeasterly wind and strong up to 30 to 35 miles per hour. That is going to be associated with a short system to slide on through. It is going to bring some areas of some light rainfall, even some wintry mixes. Some cooler air will be filling in behind it. That is going to be our first fall in temperatures, which is going to set up for a dicier system starting on Wednesday, as we'll be around that freezing mark that could bring some icing potential, and then see that the warmth will surge again on Thursday, bringing more rain, but then cooler weather to follow. So these roller coaster conditions really set up these dicey systems for the area. Now that's going to start on Wednesday, so we'll keep an eye on that system. However, first system that we're tracking comes into our Tuesday. By the afternoon, we'll see some areas of those spotty showers and some areas of wintry mix, especially depending on elevation wise, but it is quick moving. It is out by the evening hours, and as we start off Wednesday, we'll keep an eye on the approach of that next system. So with the start of the day being underneath that southeasterly wind, temperatures warm. That rainfall accumulation brings us maybe about 1/10 of an inch of accumulation. But as mentioned, it does bring us that warmth. So we still have a high of about 40s possible. So mostly rainfall accumulation, some wintry mix in place, as there will be that cooler weather that pushes its way in. Now that cooler weather drops us into the 20s. There will be some clearing as well, allowing for a little bit of that cool down, but still above average of that 18 degrees that is around for this time of the year. Now into Wednesday afternoon, we'll stay underneath overcast skies, and the approach of that next system moves its way in. Now the start of this system is going to keep those temperatures just around those 20s and 30s. And this is what's going to give us that potential of a dicey start to snow and freezing rain possible before that warm pocket moves in. So we will be slightly below average for once, it seems like this month, to start our Wednesday, but then we'll head into Thursday in that warm pocket, which will continue some light rain showers, but a high of 51. But the roller coaster doesn't end there. Behind this low pressure system, we have a stronger forcing of cold air advection, which will drop us into the 20s and keep us into the 20s on Friday. Some isolated snow showers possible. That will be the coolest day of the week, but you know, the weekend will make improvements again.
Families may now have an easier time flying together. United Airlines announces that parents will be able to book seats next to their kids without paying a fee. United says that children under 12 years old will be able to sit next to an adult in their party at no extra charge for the family. The company says more family seating options will appear on their seat map tool immediately, and the change will go into full effect in March. The move comes as President Biden's administration calls attention to how junk fees and hidden charges can cut into Americans' wallets. Meanwhile, Southwest Airlines is raising its Wi-Fi fees for passengers with connecting flights. Southwest is eliminating its Day Pass for Wi-Fi, which gave passengers Wi-Fi access for $8 per day. Instead, customers will pay $8 per flight. Southwest says the change will affect a small number of travelers because of the company's, quote, robust network of nonstop flights and the limited number of passengers who pay for internet access. Southwest A-list preferred members will still be able to access internet for free on flights. A Maryland man turns his Hot Wheels hobby into a museum, collecting thousands of the toy cars. It's now a $1 million collection. Jacqueline Matter has more.
Floor-to-ceiling walls full of Hot Wheels line this 4,000 square foot facility. Let's take a look inside one of the most valuable Hot Wheels collections in the world. By day, Bruce Pascal is a commercial real estate agent in the nation's capital. By night, he's a Hot Wheels hobbyist with more than 7,000 items in his collection.
To put it mildly, I'm obsessed with Hot Wheels.
At 7 years old, he got his first Hot Wheel in 1968, the same year they were created. 55 years later, he's still buying them.
My mother gave me back my Hot Wheels as a kid that I played with in 1999.
Okay.
And I was with a buddy of mine, and he said, I'll give you $200 for them. I was like, oh, these have value?
From there, the love for the tiny and intricate toys consumed him.
Nothing's better than collecting something you have a connection with. And the fact that I'm collecting my childhood toys, it's kind of fun.
One of his prized possessions, a 1913 Model T that was used as inspiration for Mattel.
This won America's Most Beautiful Roadster. So Hot Wheels made this into a Hot Wheel called the Hot Heap. Oh. So there is that toy car that was modeled after the original car.
Among the $1.5 million collection, there's blueprints of original sketches.
Well, here is the original blueprint for the 1968 Corvette that came out of Mattel. So to me, these are like the holy grail of paper documents.
Wooden prototypes, even items sold overseas.
In Germany, they weren't called Hot Wheels, they were called Heiss Rider.
Plus, one of the world's rarest Hot Wheels car ever created, the Volkswagen Pink Beach Bomb prototype.
And they discovered it fell down off the tracks. So they decided to re-engineer it and sell a different version to the public. So this is a prototype. It's considered the rarest Hot Wheel in the world.
While some items are extremely rare and can rack up a high price tag, Pascal says the toys really have stood the test of time.
When Hot Wheels first came out, they were under $1. They were 69 cents, 79 cents, and this is in 1968. Today, you can buy a Hot Wheel at a grocery store or at a store for like $1.19 or $1.29. It's like inflation never hit it.
So what does Pascal's family think of all this?
They think I'm crazy, but they know I have a fun time, and it is a lot of fun. Once you get into a hobby, it's not just the toys you collect, it's also the people and the friends you meet all around the world.
He hopes by showing the world his collection, he can pass on his love of Hot Wheels to younger generations.
Do you know how many kids come here with their case of cars already and they want to trade with me? And I always have fun. And any kid who leaves always leaves with a few Hot Wheels.
Pascal says he occasionally will open up the Hot Wheels Museum on Sunday afternoons for kids to come and play or adults to reminisce on their childhood. Back to you.
Still ahead, a U.S. Navy veteran celebrates a big milestone. How family and friends came together to mark her 100th birthday. Coming up. A COVID-19 shot may help lower your risk of heart complications after getting COVID. Researchers from the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai gathered data from over 1.9 million COVID-19 patients and found that those who were vaccinated and later got COVID-19 showed a lower risk of having cardiac complications. The researchers emphasized that the study does not necessarily show that COVID vaccines will lower a risk of having cardiovascular issues, but the finding does suggest that being vaccinated can have beneficial effects when dealing with post-COVID-19 complications. Public health officials say there have been reports of bird flu in Santa Barbara, California. The county officials say isolated cases of avian influenza, known as bird flu, have been found in wild birds. No cases have been reported from poultry farms in the county, but public health officials warn bird owners to protect their flocks by keeping domestic birds in enclosures and practicing good hygiene and sanitizing equipment when handling birds. The recent outbreak of bird flu has raised concerns about the disease potentially spreading to people. More than 100 people showed up for one U.S. Navy veteran's 100th birthday celebration in Colorado. Rhea Jha shows us how family and friends came together to make sure this special day was one to remember.
Happy birthday to you. U.S. Navy veteran Marie West celebrating a milestone birthday. Happy birthday! That went out the door, people of all ages waited their turn to wish Marie a happy 100th.
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Did everything I could to get here.
Her influence exemplified through her life accomplishments, including serving in World War II and raising her 3 daughters by herself.
As far as a role model, there was nothing you couldn't do. Just because you're a woman does not matter.
Marie went on to become the grandma of Monument, working as a caretaker at her daughter's daycare.
She showed them the same love that she showed her own grandchildren.
Pretty exciting for somebody like Marie to reach 100. Only the best ones do.
No one is surprised Marie made it this far.
Because 5 years ago she was out playing horseshoes with me.
Except for Marie.
I can't say anything but unbelievable. I don't know what to say. But thank you everyone. Thank God.
She says getting to 100 is a blessing.
I don't know if there's a secret. It's just that I've been blessed during my life on things I do.
Her loved ones around her say her character is what has brought her this far.
I've never known my mother not to show the love.
Her attitude is the key to her longevity. I mean, it's consistent like forever, right? I mean, it's like always the same person.
But to take her further, Marie is looking up.
Are you hoping for many more years to come?
Well, it depends on the good Lord.
Stay with us. We'll have more coming up. We want to leave you with a smile. Think your pet has what it takes to be a bunny mascot? Cadbury is calling all rescue pets to compete in their Spokes Bunny tryouts. Doesn't matter what type of animal your pet is, they just have to be a rescue. So, get some bunny ears on your animal friend and submit a photo of them to be a candidate. The chocolate company will reward the winner with an Easter commercial appearance and $5,000, as well as $5,000 more to donate to their select shelter. Once submissions end on February 23rd, the public can vote on their favorite wannabe bunny. I'm Scott Beadle. Thanks so much for watching.